It's a gorgeous, gorgeous day out, 70 plus here. But hey, hope you guys are ready, like I said, to talk about some football. Now, last night I got to watch that NFL schedule release show, and to be honest, not really too impressed, okay? It was really kind of all over the place, and it was really hard to keep track of what they were really, like, pretty much everything, okay? Yeah, they were coming out with the schedules, and they were just literally showing the schedule for about 10 seconds, switching topics, and it was kind of hard to stay focused on just one, and, you kind of just got to adjust all at once, and that was kind of tough. But I did, however, go do a little looking at myself at all the teams' schedules to see what's kind of going to transpire week by week. And, today we're going to talk briefly about probably about 2 through 5, because we talked about week 1 all yesterday. So about 2 through 5, we're going to see some of those games that you guys are going to want to watch through those weeks. And then we're going to talk about probably primetime games for sure. So, hey, we got a packed schedule. Now, like I said, that's all we're going to talk about today. So with that, are you ready to get your fix? Well, kind of before we get off to the weeks of football 2 through 5 and the primetime games, we're going to talk about those Dallas Cowboys. Now, pretty much the gist of it was they got it easy, okay? They only have one game this year against a playoff team in their first 10 games, okay? And that's week 1, Buccaneers. It's their only game they have to play that was a playoff team last year. So, I mean, and besides that one game, they have 5 total, okay? And I think a lot of them might be prime time. I know the majority of them are. They have 5. So they have the Bucks week 1, they have the Chiefs, then they have the Saints, and then they have Washington twice. Okay, they have 5 total games this year that they would play playoff teams. That means 12 other games are just teams that either barely missed the playoffs or didn't make it at all. So, I mean, and another way to look at that is according to CBS Sports. I just looked at what they got. I'm sure it's the same as NFL.com, ESPN, and all them. How the strength of schedule goes. They have the 31st strength of schedule, which means really, really, really easy. Okay, Philadelphia Eagles were the only one behind them. They were the last team, and that was the easiest schedule. So with the second easiest schedule, I mean, we just talked about it yesterday and the day before, how this is America's entertainment team. That's what I look at them as, okay? This is yesterday was a prime example of why I say that, why I say they're the entertainment team, because everyone was literally saying how this is going to be the Cowboys' year to shine. They're going to make a playoff run and do all that, But if they make the playoffs, awesome. I mean, to each their own. But I don't think they're going to go any further than that at all. And a lot of analysts said that Dak Prescott he doesn't have too good of competition to go up against. So, of course, Dak should set the league on fire. He should do very, very well. Now, week 1 is going to be a test, obviously, with the Buccaneers, but the rest of those, the next 9 games after that first week, you should see the Cowboys wins start racking up. Okay, they should be first in their division if things go their way, obviously, according to their strength of schedule. This is what should happen. They should be just fine. But again, like I said, entertainment team, you really don't know what you're going to get. You're always like, oh, they could do this, but then they don't. So that's going to be a very, very interesting thing going forward for the Cowboys. With them having such an easy schedule, if they don't do well, they're going to have a lot of people to answer to, and it's not going to be good, okay? I mean, not even just with their strength of schedule. Their schedule is literally set up perfectly, okay? And I don't see them as a Super Bowl contender just quite yet. They do have a really young secondary, really, really young defense with a couple veteran pieces here and there to help them get along. But with Mike McCarthy being in his second year, Cowboys, or Dak Prescott coming off that injury last year, Ezekiel Elliott really going down in production lately, I just don't see this team going to the Super Bowl. I see them probably making a playoff push just because of how easy their schedule is. But yeah, okay, they do have a really, really big chance to make the playoffs. But can they win against teams in the playoffs? And that's why I don't think they're going to be a Super Bowl contender. I just think they're going to get to one game, and that's going to be the end of the Cowboys. That's all you're going to hear from them, okay? But another way to look at it is, the reason I say that is they haven't been to the NFC Championship game in 25 years. We noted that yesterday or the day before, one of the two, but we did talk about that. So don't be fooled, okay? Because we've seen too often how quickly, a season can turn around in a blink of an eye, okay? Pittsburgh Steelers, if they didn't have that start last season, I highly doubt they'd make the playoffs. Probably be the Browns, and some other team would fill in for that 7th place. But like I said, we've seen how quickly it can turn around. Now, this is going to be a big test for the Cowboys, okay, this whole season. Because, yeah, granted, they only play 5 teams that went to the playoffs last year, and they don't have that hard of a schedule, but their final 5 games is where it's really, really going to matter, okay? 4 of those 5 games are against division opponents. So they got Washington in week, I think it was, would be 14, 15, 16, 17, 8, yeah. So week 14 they got Washington, week 15 Giants, 16 Washington, 17 Arizona Cardinals, and then 18 Philadelphia Eagles. Now, this kind of, it might be a big thing for the Cowboys, but it is also the same for all the other teams in that division, okay? Washington's final 5 goes Cowboys, Eagles, and then Giants. So they got their final 5 is all in the division, okay? Then you got the Eagles. They got to bye Washington, Giants, Washington, Cowboys, okay? All of them are division opponents, Giants, okay? They got Chargers, Cowboys, Eagles, Bears, Washington. So the Giants really don't have too much to do, but at the same time, they do have a lot of work to do in those final 5 games. They have 3 division opponents out of 5. Okay, so those final 5 games are going to be so crucial for everybody in that division. It literally is going to lay out how that division is going to, or play out. How am I trying to say this? Those final 5 games are going to lay out the division right then and there. Okay, it's not going to be at the beginning of the season, and it's not going to be at the end, or not at the end, or in the middle. It's going to be right in those final 5 games. That's where you're going to see who's going to be first, second, third, and fourth in that division. Okay, so like I said, unless one of these teams really break away and win constantly and just go on an undefeated streak, let's say the Cowboys go 10-0, those 5 last games probably aren't going to mean too much more. Okay, because they can go 10-7 and they still could be a playoff team. All right. Now, it's like I said, likely come down those last 5 games. So it should be a good one because, like I said, by that time they know what they need to do in order to win the division or go to the playoffs or something like that. They know what games they need to win and what games they don't really need to win, but they should, obviously, because it's the NFL. You should not, obviously not care about winning or losing. You should always care. You should always want to win. But it's going to be a battle for this division in those final 5 weeks. This division doesn't really have that many primetime games where they play one another, but one of them, or there's 3 of them, okay? So week 2, which is on Thursday Night Football, is the Giants versus the Washington Football Team. Week 3, which is on Monday Night Football, which is the Eagles versus the Cowboys. And then week 16 on Sunday Night Football, which is the Washington Football Team against the Dallas Cowboys. Now, week 16, that game, like I said, both make a lot of noise. Now, I do think this is going to be a closer game than we think. Obviously, I think with the new quarterback, with the Indianapolis Colts being Carson Wentz, they're going to be able to at least put the ball in the end zone a little bit more. Hopefully those receivers get going. Like T.Y. Hilton needs to go back to his ways when he was with Andrew Luck, and they'll be fine. But for the most part, I think with just how dominant that Rams defense can be, I think they might have the edge on this game. Not 100% sure, but if I had to look at it, yeah, I think I'd take the Los Angeles Rams winning this game. So another game there is the Chiefs, who are at the Ravens. Okay, this is a Sunday Night Football game at 7:20. At least I believe. I'm not. I know it's a night game, 7:20. I have it written down. But hey, Lamar Jackson is 0-3 against the Kansas City Chiefs. Okay, he's never played them in the playoffs. At least, yeah. No, I don't think so. Yeah, because they played the Bills last year and the Bills beat them. So, but he's 0-3 against the Chiefs in the regular season. So, and he just said that the Chiefs are the Ravens' kryptonite. As much as they might be, I think their passing game was their kryptonite. They didn't have a passing game. 2 years ago they kind of did. and it was moving a little bit, but they've always, for the last couple of years, they've been known as a running game, or a running team. But at the same time, the Chiefs still have a shitload, and I mean a lot, of firepower in that offense. Okay, they're going to score in the blink of an eye, literally at will. Okay, that's the thing about the Chiefs lately. Okay, before they were kind of stagnant. They weren't that good of a team, and now all of a sudden Patrick Mahomes come. You bring in Tyreek Hill, who's going off. Sammy Watkins came in last year, not there anymore. But then Travis Kelce's putting up Tony Gonzalez type numbers, and really this team is hard to stop. I mean, Travis Kelce has, I'm pretty sure, 1,000 yards receiving in every season. I think that's either Travis Kelce or Mike Evans. I can't remember. I know we talked about it last year briefly, but insane. This guy is literally nuts. Okay, so if the Ravens go into this game and they show they have a passing attack right from the get-go, not even just this game, week 1, even preseason, if they show that, this is going to be a fun game to watch, and I do think it'll be a battle back and forth. I'm not sure how stellar that Chiefs running back crew will do. Last year we seen it was kind of working. They started to get it rolling, but you never know. They have so many weapons that are able to do it consistently. Okay, so I still think, obviously, the Chiefs are going to end up winning this game. Okay, but it's going to be an all-out battle. Lamar's looking for that first win against the Chiefs. Okay, 0-3, you got to get one at least. You can't go undefeated against Patrick Mahomes. I'm pretty sure they were in the same draft class. So, and Lamar obviously wants to prove that he can be better than what he has been. Okay, this guy's put up MVP-type numbers in the past. He won the MVP in the past, or 2 years ago, actually. So, really just be ready for an all-out battle here. I think it's Sunday night. It's either Sunday night or Monday night, I know. But just be ready for that battle because it's going to be a good one. It's going to be one you want to watch. So enough on week 2. We're going to go to week 3. I got a couple games here as well. Right from the get-go at noon, we got Washington at the Bills. Okay, this is Sunday noon game. Now this is going to really show us if the Washington football team, is the real deal. Okay, because this is a team, the Buffalo Bills went on a tear last year, okay? They literally took over that division and didn't look back at all. Went right to that AFC Championship game. They had a couple injuries that weren't helping them per se, but they did, Stephon Diggs did play in that. We talked about that yesterday. But really, this is a Bills team that's looking to make that next step, looking to go to another Super Bowl, and hopefully they don't win, or hopefully they don't lose this one like they did in the past where they lost 4 straight, because that was a rough time to be a Bills Mafia fan, I guess, if you want to, or part of the Bills Mafia, if you want to say. But hey, they're back. Okay, this is where they need to be. But like I said, Washington, this is going to be a very, very big test. Okay, your defense is good from what I've seen, at least on paper, and from last year. You got some pieces, you lost some pieces. Now it's really just up to them to see if they're the real deal. Now, granted, it will be week 3. You don't know too much. Like I said right there, you're just kind of getting the feel of things. But by week 3, things should start clicking. Okay, you should have an idea, at least sort of an idea of who the hell is going to be your guys going forward, and they should know the playbook at least a little bit. All right. Now, of Washington's first 12 weeks, okay, they have 6 games against last year's playoff teams. Granted, they did make the playoffs too, so they're a playoff team. But with that being said, 6 of their first 12 games are against playoff teams from last year. This is going to be a season where we really get to see, like I said, is Washington the real deal? They just need to win those games. All those teams are still really good. You got the Buccaneers, still didn't lose anybody. The Saints only lost Drew Brees. Green Bay Packers still have Aaron Rodgers. I mean, if you still have Aaron Rodgers, you're still going to be a good team. All right. Then you got Seattle, the Rams, and then the AFC side you got Chiefs. I mean, literally, it goes on. Okay, so really big test right from the get-go. We're going to see right away after Week 12 if Washington can and will be in the playoffs. Okay, I said they're going to be. I said they're probably going to win this division unless, the Cowboys go undefeated right away or just lose that Week 1 and go, 9-1. This is going to be Washington's division, but these first 12 weeks are going to be tough. and it's really going to be a good like starting point for their franchise if they can get it done and win a lot of games in those first 12. Now the Bills, they're just, like I said, they're looking to make a run this year. Okay, and this is going to be a good test right from the go. And, I say that because Washington has a solid defense. And we've said that for the last couple weeks now. They have top 3, top 5 defensive line in the NFL. The Bills are going to have some trouble. They really can't run the ball all that well. I can't remember who they actually got. I don't think they got a running back. They might have. But, Devin Singletary last year just didn't cut it for me. I didn't think he was a starting caliber running back. I do think he's a lot like a David Montgomery, if you will. So, really, they're going to have some trouble. But that passing attack for the Bills, like Stephon Diggs and that Josh Allen, chemistry is going to be a big factor in this game. But hopefully Washington holds on. I do think the Bills are probably going to end up winning that one just because Washington doesn't have that much firepower on offense. So another game we're going to look at would be for Week 3, obviously, is another 7:20 game. I don't know if it's Sunday or Monday. Could care less. Just know it's a night game. It's going to be one of those two. It's not Thursday, I promise. Kind of going in order. So if it's a Thursday game, it's going to be that first one that I say. But right now, this is either Sunday or Monday night. Packers at 49ers. Now, 2 years ago, for those Packer fans, this was the NFC Championship game. Okay, Green Bay really couldn't stop the run to save their lives at all. It was a big issue. Last year they went out in free agency and the draft and tried to address that issue, and they did pretty well for the most part all season, kind of taking away that run game. It was still a factor in a couple of those games they lost because they only lost 3, I'm pretty sure. But still, okay, I think it was also a factor besides that defensive play by the Tampa Bay Buccaneers in that NFC Championship game last year that they lost, was that run game with Ronald Jones, Leonard Fournette. They weren't too prominent, but like I said, it still needed a little help. But this year is going to be probably, a lot different, especially if Aaron Rodgers is not there, okay? I don't think that's going to be the case. I think he's going to end up playing. I think it's getting too late. It's not quite too late, but it's almost a little past late where, rookie minicamp's already started up. They're going to get the training camp here soon and stuff like that. So if he's still there, it's going to be interesting, okay? Can they finally stall that run game? I think they have the ability to. I think they got the right players, and that chemistry has been built up there. They have, I believe, they kept a lot of people around for the most part, okay? So be ready for that. Now, if the Niners are completely healthy, because last year they weren't, I'm pretty sure after Week 3, which is right here actually, they went downhill because a lot of them got injuries in that Jets game that they went and played at MetLife because of the turf, I guess. But if they're healthy and they know who exactly as well as Trey Lance can or could, because we haven't seen what Trey Lance obviously can do in the NFL. So right now, obviously, you have to go with Jimmy Garoppolo. But in practice and rookie minicamp, you'll know, and then they'll know who their quarterback probably will be going forward. But like I said, healthy, they know who their quarterback is. It's going to be a shootout. Okay, so expect that game to be a very, very good, I think it's a primetime game as well. So expect that one to be good. So Week 3, we'll get off that. We're going to Week 4, okay? Right off the bat, we got Sunday at noon, Browns at Vikings. You're probably wondering why this game? Why would we want to watch this? Well, Kevin Stefanski comes back to Minnesota, right? And he's a head coach. Last year he went, I think, 10-6, led his team to the playoffs with a Browns team that, let's be quite honest, not a lot of people had faith in, including me right away. But hey, anything can happen. Anything's possible. Like I said earlier, hey, we've seen seasons turn around in the blink of an eye just like that, and they turned last year around. So Kevin Stefanski's coming back to Minnesota, proving it wasn't his play calling in Minnesota that really screwed everything up, because I think he proved his point last year, making the playoffs. Vikings didn't make the playoffs. So he did a really, really, really good job. So he gets to come back, get a chance to play against his old team, and possibly beat them. Because let's be real, being a Vikings fan, I'll be honest. Cleveland Browns, a lot more firepower, and if you don't think so, you're Looney Tunes. Okay, they got a lot more power and a lot more firepower, a lot more weapons. Their defense is way more experienced, way better. Guess you can't really say that yet, but at what I think from right now, just looking at paper, we are way too young on defense. They are not. We don't have, a lot of stars. They do. Offensively, we could do something, but our offensive line garbage. Their offensive line young, ready to roll. Chemistry's being built. And they got OBJ, Jarvis Landry, David Njoku, Austin Hooper. It goes on and on. And, it's going to be really, really a good game. It's going to be a big test for that Vikings defense, okay, and their offense. Because with how good that Browns defense is, Vikings are going to really have to put the pedal to the metal. They're going to have to score. And whether that's field goals, touchdowns, they're going to have to find a way in order to get there. Okay, so now another thing to kind of note: the Browns, like I said, they have everything they need and more. Vikings, they have a lot of holes yet. I don't think people quite understand what's going on there. I mean, our safeties. Granted, we did go get one. Anthony Harris left, and that's a big hole, okay? We thought about bringing Andrew Sendejo back. Not a good option. Thank God we didn't do that. And then you look at our corners. A lot of young guys, okay? We got Cam Dantzler, Jeff Gladney, Holton Hill, Harrison Hand. And they did actually just today trade cornerback Mike Hughes, who was in the first round, who we drafted in the first round. In 2018, we traded him to the Chiefs for next year's 6th round and 7th round picks. Now, it'll be interesting, okay? The Vikings, they're another entertainment team, to be honest. They're one of those teams that like to poke you and poke you and poke you until you get really upset. And you're like, God damn it, stop. Like Kirk Cousins last year not throwing the ball away when he definitely had enough time on multiple throws or multiple chances to do so. It's like, dude. And then he fumbles it, and that's when you're like, flip the table. All right, I'm out of here. Like, fuck this. But at the same time, hopefully he fixes that, because if he does, it's going to be an interesting year for the Vikings. And this chair is just not in its right position. I got to get one of those mats under there so it rolls nicely. Carpet does not work. I mean, it works fine, but whatever. It is what it is. But like I said, Browns, Vikings, good game. Kevin Stefanski coming here. Now, we'll see where it takes it. So another game to look at would be the Sunday night game. Now, this one I know, because we got another game after this. Sunday night game at 7:20. Jaguars at Bengals. Not two big name teams, obviously. The season last year, not too good. But this is a rematch, okay, between Trevor Lawrence and Joe Burrow. We've seen that in the 2019 championship game, actually. In NCAA, that is, if you don't know. But really, this is all you really want to watch, okay? That's the only reason I brought this game up, was because it's a rematch of those two. Who's the better one? A lot of people were saying, hey, Joe Burrow's better than Trevor Lawrence. Well, now we get to see who has the better team. That's a tough one. Okay, in my eyes, I'd say the Jaguars a little bit, just because I've seen that their defense has the ability to stop other teams. Not as consistent though, I'm not saying like comparing to the Bengals. I'm just saying they're not really consistent, but they have shown they can stop teams. Okay, where the Bengals defense, I mean, they could one game or two. They're gonna let up a lot of points, and a big thing to think about. Yeah, a big thing to kind of think about is why I'm saying that is because, like I said, I think it was last week after the draft, they drafted a kicker, who his target line for a fourth down, like where you need to be in order for him to kick field goal, is at the 62-yard line. So they know their defense is bad. Okay, they're trying to get points up on that board so that, with how bad their defense is, they can somewhat keep up with the other team. So Jags, I do think, have a little bit more firepower offensively. They got James Robinson coming back on a really good year. Travis Etienne coming out of this draft, a rookie. But, DJ Chark, wide receiver. It's going to be a game. It's going to be a good game between two lower caliber teams in the NFL, but it's going to be a good one. Trevor Lawrence, Joe Burrow. That's why I brought this one up. Okay, so just be ready for that one. Sunday night. I'm pretty sure that might be a primetime game. I can double check. I'm not 100% sure, but I think being Sunday night football, it might be. But they do. No, they won't do 2 this year unless something gets moved around because, COVID is really, I guess, not too big of a thing anymore in these stadiums because I did see a tweet today also where the NFL expects full capacity stadiums this upcoming season. And that's obviously with all the vaccinations and how many people get vaccinated and all that. All that will factor into if they're going to be full capacity or not. Hopefully they are because let me tell you, I really, really, really want to go to Lambeau. Probably will regardless with Y4 with my buddy because last time we went to a game, it was Christmas Eve, a Monday Night Football game between Kirk Cousins and Aaron Rodgers in U.S. Bank Stadium. And my goodness, just don't go it was bad. Because they have the chant, "Go Pack Go." Well, all the Vikings fans, including me, were saying, "Go back home. Go back home." And, of course, my buddy was sitting there, not saying a goddamn word, being humble, just da-da-da-da. And the Packers come out of fucking nowhere, win the goddamn game, walk all the way to the car, get in the parking lot, and he's pretty, well, what did he say? He said, "Help me out here. Let's see." So, well, that was a good game or something like that. I was like, shut the fuck up. Like, dude, it was just bad, all right? But hopefully we get that. I want to go to Lambeau. I want to experience a Vikings win at Lambeau because it's going to happen. It's got to happen. We've been all right the last couple of years, though, though. So, hey, Lambeau, we're coming. Well, maybe, because we'll talk about that later as to why. But another game to look at, Brady versus Belichick. Who wins? Who's going to take the crown? Brady took it last year. It was shown he could go to a different team, new head coach, new playbook, new everything, win another goddamn ring. What did Bill do? Go 7-9 and third in his division. So we'll see if Brady can go there and do it again because I know he's going to. I think he went and tweeted. He said it's like when your high school buddies meet your college buddies. It's one of those scenarios. And we'll see what happens. We'll see if Tom's got a little light under his butt or not. I don't know what's going to happen, or fire under his butt, but it's going to be awesome. Now, another thing about this game is I actually, watching the NFL schedule release show, they brought this up. I was able to catch that, thank God. Can't tell you how many fucking schedules I missed. It was weird. I'm like, wait a minute. Did they just? Yeah, and they did. But if Brady averages 288.75 yards the first 4 weeks, okay, that's week 1. He gets 288.75, week 2, week 3. And he does it in week 4, okay? First 4 weeks, he will break the record for most passing yards in NFL history where it all began. Down in good old Gillette Stadium. Well, not Gillette Stadium at the time, I don't think, but Foxborough, okay? And the New England Patriots with them on that field. He could break it in that game. It's very, very doable, but it's really up to him. He's got 2 receivers, Mike Evans, Chris Godwin, who are going to be unreal. I think we talked a little bit. They added another guy. Can't really remember off the top of my head, but hey, I don't care because all I know is that they got Brady, and that's all they need. Their defense is good. Their defense had a really good outing throughout the whole playoffs. Literally the reason they even won any goddamn game in the playoffs and the Super Bowl. Brady could have played a lot better, obviously. But this is going to be a game to watch. Don't miss it. Don't miss it at all. I mean, if you're working, I'm sorry. I feel for you. But Monday night, Bucks, Patriots. Be ready. Week 4 is going to be a good one. Very, very good one. So after week 4, we're going to go over the last week for today. Week 5. Now there's a couple games, 2 main games in this one. Now week 5 is not going to be as exciting as week 4. I think week 3 and week 4, are the weeks right away, right off the bat where you're like, oh, all right, you're getting a lot of good, high quality entertainment right in front of your eyes, like literally, okay? But it's going to be awesome. I don't know why I keep just grabbing this table. It's like perfect, like in my hand. It's just awesome. But week 5, Okay, right off the get-go, we got Rams at Seahawks. Did not write the times down for this one, but assume that one, I think, is a noon game. I want to say it might be a night game. I could go look, but we're not going to. But just know that's week 5. Rams at Seahawks. This is a division game. Okay, Russell Wilson versus Matthew Stafford. It's going to be very, very fun. Okay, I think in the past we've kind of noticed how these two teams have really, somewhat similar offenses, I'd say. Okay, they each have 2 really good receivers. Seattle has Tyler Lockett, DK Metcalf. Rams have Cooper Kupp and Robert Woods. So they do have enough. Now, tight end wise, Rams probably beat them in there. They have Tyler Higbee, where the Seahawks, I think what's his name, Will Driscoll or something like that. Will something. I know I don't even know. That's the point. Okay, they don't really have a tight end. Offensive line, no, because last year, that's this offseason actually. That's a big reason of why Russell Wilson said, "Get me out of here or get me better offensive line." They don't have really a good offensive line, so that run game is going to be tough. Okay, and going off of that, the Rams defense is a lot, and I mean a lot better than the Seahawks. Okay, that's going to give them the edge in this game. They're going to be able to burst through that line at will, stuff that run game. Russell Wilson's going to be running around there in the backfield with his head cut off like a chicken, and it's not going to be good for Seattle. It's going to be a rushed game, I think, in week 5. Okay, as much as Russell Wilson likes to, start clicking on all cylinders right away, week 5 might be that time, that breaking point where we see him like last year, always in the MVP talks, and then disappeared, like nowhere to be found. And I think this is going to be a game where that's going to happen. I think he's going to have to force a lot of throws he's not going to want to. Okay, that Seattle or that Rams defense is going to put a lot of pressure on him, get a lot of sacks, and probably get 1 interception. Okay, Jalen Ramsey's back there. They have a lot of young studs. So, I mean, just be ready for a good one because it's a division game. Obviously, it's going to be good. Don't really necessarily think it's going to be too much of a shootout as much as it is going to be more defense on the Rams side. That's what you're going to see. You're going to see Seattle try to play some offense, but they're not going to be able to. And that Rams offense is going to play all right enough where they're going to put enough points on the board to overcome the Seattle Seahawks and win that game, hopefully. So the last game, really to worry about, I guess, weeks 1 through 5 now, because we went through 1 yesterday and 2 through 4 now. But in the week 5, last game here, Bills at the Kansas City Chiefs. Very, very good game. This is a rematch of that AFC Championship game last year. Oh, it's going to be absolutely stellar. It's going to be a thriller. Don't miss. Okay, this one is obviously a primetime game. If it's not, my mind would be blown. I'm about 100% sure it is. And, it's a night game. So they both are playing at the top of their game, I guess if you want to say. Both win. Are stacked defensively, offensively, have enough firepower everywhere. Head coaches are masterminds. So, just know it's going to be a very, very, very good game, and I can't wait to watch this week 5. It's going to be a very, like I said, good game. Said that a lot. Very, very, very good time. Very, very, very good time. We could rap all night if we wanted. I know John would. But enough with those games. Weeks 2 through 5. Those are the key matchups I gave you there. Had to get some high quality H2O in me quick. But we're going to talk about some primetime games to be ready for. Now, there is a fair amount, obviously. There's a good amount of games. Monday night, Thursday night, Sunday night, stuff like that. But really what we're going to go through right now is, because I don't really, as much as I consider Thursday a primetime game, because it is, Sunday night and Monday night are really the 2 big ones that everyone's looking forward to, because Thursday is really just that start of the week, not too, bumping, if you will. So now, for Sunday Night Football, or I guess for Sunday Night Football, we kind of already mentioned the Chiefs at the Ravens, the Packers at the Niners, Bucks at Patriots. Oh, and then, that Bills at Chiefs game, it is a Sunday Night Football game. Forgot about Like I didn't put the time down for that one. So it is a Sunday night football game. So we already mentioned that. But to start with a Sunday night football game to be ready for is Week 8. Cowboys at Vikings. Now this always seems like a must-watch game. I don't know why. Maybe it's because with two somewhat solid teams always going head-to-head. It always seems to be a battle and a close one, if that. Sometimes, the one team will get the better edge more than likely sometimes, or not more than likely, but they'll get the edge higher every once in a while. But usually it's a close game, like 3 points, not one possession. We'll say that. Okay, usually pretty close. Now this is two younger teams defensively, with somewhat explosive offense. Cowboys obviously can be really explosive. Amari Cooper, Michael Gallup, Tony Pollard, Dak Prescott's there throwing them the ball. Then you got Ezekiel Elliott in the backfield, so they got firepower. Vikings. This is where I'm worried. Kirk Cousins. Very, 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 very bad in primetime games. I believe he's 0-13. That's either a total or he's 0-9 or 0-13 in Monday night. I don't know. But just know he don't win on primetime games, like at all. And that's a big downfall. Other than that, though, Justin Jefferson coming off a big year. Adam Thielen, consistent, very, very good receiver. Tight end-wise, I hope Irv Smith gets that start. Tyler Conklin's probably going to be a big piece. But Irv should be able to produce a lot. Dalvin Cook, Alexander Madison. They have enough firepower. An offensive line's not that great, but they did go get some pieces. But their defenses are pretty young and trying to make a name for themselves. They really haven't established that yet. Okay, so that's a big thing. Now, like I said, can Kirk get it done? Probably not. As much as I hate saying that, I know it's the truth because you just got to go. Like, as much as you want to go, if you're a Minnesota Vikings fan, as much as you want to go with him on every game because you have to. He's your guy. He's your quarterback. When it comes to primetime games, don't, for 1 second, think deep down in your heart that he's going to walk away with a win. No, don't. Don't expect it. I think that's what Vikings, like you guys and me as a Vikings fan, always do. Our hopes are way too high. Oh, don't worry, he'll be fine. He'll finally get this win. And then it comes crashing down. We can't do that. Got to stop doing that. Don't expect him to win primetime games because if we do, it's like I said, it's going to bring us down. Just be like, oh, we're going to lose this one, and then watch. And at the end, be like, hell yeah, get jacked, have fun, go have a beer with your buddy. I don't care. But he's not going to be, 9 times out of 10, he's not going to win. So don't be too high on that. Okay, another Sunday night game. Week 15. Saints at Bucks. Okay? Big matchup, especially with Drew Brees not in that Saints or not with the Saints organization no more. So Jameis Winston's probably the guy or Taysom Hill's the guy. Whoever it is, this will be a good game, obviously. Okay? Saints are still very, very good regardless of who their quarterback is. I think they'd be better with Jameis than they would Taysom, but we've seen Teddy go 5-0 with that team. Very solid team, very solid defensively, really young, hungry. Okay? They've went to the playoffs quite a few times these last couple of years, and not a damn thing to show for it. They're coming. But the Bucks, they just won a Super Bowl. Brady's looking to be better than Drew Brees, which I already think, and obviously he is better than Drew Brees. And he's going to break the passing record. So this is going to be a very big matchup. Bucks, Saints. Okay, could be the game to decide who wins the NFC South. But really, we're not going to find out too much. I think we're going to find out right from the bat if the Buccaneers are going to be back to where they were last year. Saints, you just got to kind of wait it out and see where they land because they're always good. They're going to make the playoffs again. I have no doubt about that. Now, if they don't, it's probably because of quarterback play. Okay, and then probably more than likely changes we made prior to that. So just be ready for that week 15. Okay, then week 17. Now I'll bring back, like I said, of why we might not go to Lambeau, but it would be fucking awesome. And I put money on it that John would be ecstatic as well, but it's week 17. Vikings at Packers. Always going to be a good game. Vikings coming to Lambeau, even Packers coming to US Bank. It's one of the greatest division rivalries that there is. Okay, these two teams, Vikings, Packers. I don't know what it is, but it's just one of those things, you know, like where your high school rival for me was the Buccaneers, the Waterloo Buccaneers. Jesus. You just know when you're going to play them, it's going to be a big game. This is going to be a very big game, okay? Week after Christmas, the Packers play on Christmas night against, or Christmas Eve, Christmas night, one of the days. The week before against the Browns, I want to say. Not 100% sure on that, but they do play Christmas before that. But then this week, so it's gonna be cold, okay? Hopefully there's snow, because what's Lambeau Field in January with no snow? Nothing. It's not that cool. I mean, it is cool, regardless. I don't know what Thielen was saying. Lambeau is the oldest field with the most history still around it and in it. It's a really good field. But when there's snow there, they call it the frozen tundra for a reason. It's bleacher seats. You're going to need 1,000 heating pads for your butt to sit on if you actually want to. I mean, it's gonna be a nice game. Now, good game, honestly, to have right before playoffs. Because, hey, if the Vikings do make a run, who knows? And the Packers obviously make a run if they keep, Aaron Rodgers, which they will, 13-3 the last 2 seasons. This could be a game to decide who wins the division or who makes the playoffs. Let's say the Green Bay Packers have already solidified the division by this time, they're obviously going to the playoffs. This could be a game for the Vikings to see, can we make the playoffs, or are we going to be, sitting at home once again. But like I said, could decide who's first, who's second. More likely, I think Green Bay is going to take it, especially if Aaron Rodgers stays. Now, if Aaron Rodgers leaves and you got Blake Bortles, good luck. That's all I got to say. Good luck, because not only are your fans going to be pissed, Devontae Adams is going to be pissed, Robert Tonyan's going to be pissed, Marquez Valdez-Scantling is going to be pissed, Aaron Jones, DJ Dillon, oh my goodness, everybody, because you're not going to go nowhere. You're going to win a decent amount of games because you do have a really good offensive line, have a really solid, consistent enough defense. You need one piece in your secondary defensive back-wise. But quarterback is a big thing. Can you get the ball there? Where can you put it at the right place at the right time? Stuff like that has to be worked out. So hopefully, like I said, this obviously a good game. Hopefully there's snow. Hey, hell, let's go. Let's go to Lambeau. Let's have a fun. Maybe we'll... No, we can't do that. Probably illegal. Can't do that without express written consent of the NFL. Couldn't record while we're there or anything. We take videos and show the videos of when we were there, but that's about it. But I'm down. Cold. As long as it's not like negative 50, let's fuck do it, boys. Let's go to Lambeau. But other than Sunday Night Football, one of them probably quick and I don't know, it's a tease almost. It's like a tease primetime game. Monday Night Football. I mean, I don't know what it is. Every Monday night, it's a different atmosphere. You're like, oh, all right, last game to end this week. But then, oh, wait, 3 more days, and then we got, or 4 more days. Then we got, Thursday Night Football. So it's kind of a poker. You're like, hey, stop. Why couldn't you just do this last night? But it's gonna be a packed. They had a lot of good games. Okay, a lot of games. But for right now, we got 2 main games for Monday Night Football that really kind of stood out to me. And the first one, Week 6, Buffalo Bills at the Tennessee Titans. Excuse me. I keep burping. I think it's because of that ice cream cone I had earlier. Dairy Queen, that was awesome. If you haven't, 72 degrees, go do it quick. It's probably dropping in temperature. Go get your ice cream either today or tomorrow. Go swimming. Do what you need to do. But Week 6, Buffalo Bills at the Tennessee Titans. There's 2 teams, okay, that have shown dominance. They've been to the playoffs. Well, I think the Bills were in the playoffs 2 years ago. Yeah, pretty sure. So they've been to the playoffs. They've been towards the top of their division the last couple of years. They know what it takes. Very, very good teams. Now, last year, I'm pretty sure, no. Was it the Bills-Titans last year? Yeah. No, I think it was Chiefs-Titans. Whatever. No, it's Chiefs-Browns. Yeah, Chiefs-Browns, Tennessee, and Bills were playing last year. So this is the game, the divisional round game, in order to send them to that AFC Championship game. This is going to be a true test, okay, to see if that Bills defense can really stop Derrick Henry. Because if they do, Tennessee's in trouble. The Bills have Josh Allen, Stephon Diggs. We just talked about him recently. They're going to be on the same page constantly. The running game is going to be but that Bills defense is going to be a big reason if they win or lose this game. They have to be able to stop Derrick Henry, because if you don't, you're not, it's going to be bad. It's going to be very bad. He's going to have 100-plus yards, 150-plus yards. Okay, we're going to see a lot of 200-yard games from Derrick Henry if teams can't stop him. Okay, and that's just me thinking that way. I don't know how many games we're going to see it, but I think we're going to see about a handful of games, about 4 or 5 200-plus yard games from Derrick Henry. And this might be one of them. Okay, as long as the Bills defense stops him, they should be in a good place. Now, Titans, they just have to keep that pressure on. Okay? If for some reason Derrick Henry isn't cutting it and the Bills are stopping him, they have to get that pass game going and they have to keep scoring. Okay? Whether that's a field goal or a touchdown, they just have to stay around that same, number that the Bills have on the scoreboard. If they keep the pressure on and all of a sudden Derrick Henry gets loose, Titans could win this game. But so can the Bills. This is going to be a very, very good game. Week 6, you already know what's going to happen. You already know where what direction your team's going. So you need this game. This is a beginner, this is the game, the starting game to, all right, we need to flip the switch, got to get ready, to make a playoff push, even though there is 11 more weeks after that. They still have to, that's where they got to start, and they have to stay that consistent throughout the rest of the season in order to go all the way. Stay healthy, and continue to win. Plain and simple. This is going to be a good game, Week 6. Okay, but another one to look forward to. Also Week 17, primetime game, Monday night. One day after that Packers-Vikings game. We got the Cleveland Browns traveling and taking on the Pittsburgh Steelers. Very, very interesting game. They'll play each other earlier in the year. So this is going to be a game. Let's say Steelers win that one. Well, the Browns are going to come back here, probably going to win this one. Or flip-flop, who knows. But I do think the Browns have a lot, obviously a lot more pieces. But I think they're going to be mentally stronger, more mentally prepared this season, okay? We've seen last year and this whole offseason with, like I said, I brought up the social media stuff with the wide receivers there in Pittsburgh. I don't care about it, obviously. I just don't want to bring them to the field, and I think that was the big reason as to why, that chemistry started going down. They started losing games, was because they brought it to the field when, really, once you hit the locker room, everything should be shut off. Go dance, go have your fun. Just don't dance on the logo, for Christ's sakes. Cool. I don't care. But this is going to be a game that probably decides who's the winner of the AFC North. Unless the Cleveland Browns, like I said, have a really good start and they get to Week 17, they don't really have to, do much this game. But the Steelers are still very good. Still a top 3, top 5 defense. Juju's going to be back there. Chase Claypool. Big Ben's still, a threat, even though he's not that good anymore. He's still going to be a threat back there regardless. He's just purely off that experience. Okay? So, really, nothing really more to say about this game as well, like that Bills-Chiefs game. Besides just know this is going to be a battle. Okay? This is a wild card game last year. So that was their third game. Browns ended up taking, I think they won. Did they win them all? No. I think they lost one last year, but they ended up winning the next 2. Because I think, they lost early in the year, which was whatever. And then they went later in the year, gave them a loss. And then when the wild card slid them another loss, said, hey, fuck you. Get out of here. This is our time. So I'm excited. I'm really excited for this Browns-Steelers rivalry because it's going to be the Browns. It's going to be the Browns division for a couple years if they continue to look how they have been, especially after last year. And the Steelers could be on the downturn, on the downslope. Big Ben's probably going to be gone after this year. And we'll see what happens wide receiver-wise as well. They don't have a really stellar running back crew besides Najee Harris coming there. But like I said, anything could happen with that. He could, do really shitty. He could be a bust. He could get injured. Hopefully not. But hey, there's a lot of factors that play into some football. You know what I'm saying? But hey, like I said, but hey. Look, we could just, we could clip a lot of stuff. Maybe we should do that. Clip a lot of stuff that I say and just like put ads. No, I'm just kidding. We could. Just need a new laptop instead of like what I'm using now, because my laptop, I had like all these cool ass like cut scenes. We could go as long as we want it. But I think right now we're good where we need to be. All right. I figured out a way. If we need to have guests on this live stream, we could figure a way out. Put the old cellular device right here. Ooh, got a lot of sports notifications on here. Probably wouldn't see that, but we could do something like that here in the future if we want it. But those are the primetime games to keep watching out for. Okay, Week 17 has 2, Sunday night, Monday night. It's gonna hit you really hard. It's gonna hit you fast, and this season is going to be a very, very fun one. Okay, just be prepared. Well, that's all I got for you guys today. It was a really good hour, 50-some minutes here or whatever. But thanks. Like again, I want to say this. Thanks for all the support and continue to tune in. If you haven't, go subscribe to me on YouTube. I don't care if you do or not. It is what it is. As long as you guys are getting your fix, that's all I care about, and you guys continue to tune in. Even if you don't, hey, I don't care. As long as you're here, having fun. We're almost done for the week, but there is still one more day. We got tomorrow, Friday. We'll be here at 6 p.m. So, hey, with that being said, we'll see you then. And you just got your fix with the Wicks. Have a good one, guys. Thanks for joining.